Video. 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 Hello, the internet. My name's Laura, and welcome back to my channel. And today, I have a little bit of a story for you. So, one of the things that you guys know about me, because I know that I brought it up before, is that I have depression. I probably also have a little bit of anxiety, but that one's not super bad. But the one that I may not have ever brought up is that I am pretty sure that I have ADHD. The reason that I say probably is because I haven't been professionally diagnosed. I have just come into a lot of information on the internet that really kind of makes sense about how my life has been up until this point. That, you know, those things where you always think that they're normal, and then you find out that everybody else isn't actually struggling as much as you are. You know, kind of the same way that depression really hit me, where it was like, oh, I just thought that, you know, oh, I'm in a stressful situation, and this stuff is happening, and blah, blah, blah. And then it was like, oh, no, you know, you have depression, and people's brains don't always handle that way, you know? But anyway, so one of the things that I've been doing is just figuring out that some of the things that I do just normally are attributed to what would be an ADHD diagnosis. And I have always tried to be very, very open about my mental health struggles, because it's definitely not something that we talk about all that much, or society has gotten to the point where we kind of start paying lip service to it. But for the people who don't really struggle with it, it's one of those things where they're like, oh, we'll just talk about it and then it'll go away. That's not how it works. It'd be nice, be really nice if I could just talk about my depression and it would just go away, but that's not how it works. It's the same thing with my ADHD. And so one of the things, for those of you who might not know, for ADHD is it's considered an attention deficit disorder. That's what the ADHD, hyperactivity deficit disorder. ADHD presents very differently in women than it does in men in most cases. You know, when you think of ADHD or ADD, as it was called for a really long time, you think of the hyperactive boy running around and not being able to sit still and this, that, and the other thing. Women do not present that way, and so most women are not diagnosed. My mother was not diagnosed until she was an adult, and that was when I kind of started looking into it, and I'm like, oh, you know, women tend to just be, the way that women present with ADHD tends to just be more of kind of an absent-minded, forget what they're doing, or the thing that we're going to be talking about today, hyper-focusing on certain things. And so once I realized that that's kind of what I was dealing with, a lot of things in my life started making more sense. And one of those things was that plants were one of my hyper focuses. I got really into them during a depressive episode. However many, oh my God, how many years has it been now? I don't even know. And then I was like, oh, why don't I start a YouTube channel? And so, you know, that started that cycle of I watched YouTube videos, and that kind of kept my excitement up about plants. And then I got plants, and then I made videos about them, and then I talked to people about them. And so, like, you know, and so it was hyper-focused for a really long time. And it was, you know, definitely the end of the world helped. All of us went through kind of a collective trauma, and a lot of people got into hobbies that they had not done previous. Number one, because a lot of people had time because suddenly they weren't working. And number two, we were going through a collective trauma. Even if you don't have depression or anxiety or any kind of a mental illness, you were going through a trauma. And so, like, a lot of people got into plants, and then that helped the cycle too, because suddenly all these people were going into the plant community, and then suddenly, because there was money there, the companies were creating more plants, which was creating more excitement, which was, you know, like, Anyway, I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit. The base thing that I kind of want to say is that that hyperfocus has kind of ended for me. And I've kind of been in denial about it for a while because there's a certain guilt that I feel about having spent so much time and money and energy on something. And love. I mean, I really did enjoy plants. It's not like I was just going through the motions and whatever. On something, and suddenly I look around and I'm like, I don't care anymore. And for a while, obviously, you guys saw the videos, I was like, this is how you keep caring for your plants through depression. And I was rationalizing, oh, I'm just depressed right now. Oh, I'm just, whatever. We're going to work through it. And I gave you guys tips for that. And one of the things that I came to realize is just that, no, the hyperfocus is over for me. I still like my plants, but this video is probably the start of, and then I'm going to get rid of a lot of my plants. I'm going to sell the ones I can sell. I'm going to, get rid of the rest of the ones that I can't sell and only keep just my favorites. And so, but like I said, I wanted to be very clear with my mental struggles because hopefully there might be somebody out there who this helps. Like I got a lot of benefit from being in the plant community and having my plants and making these videos, and I got a lot of joy out of it. I learned a lot of things. I mean, I learned a lot. And it's okay that it's over. And that the video that I put out before this one, actually the video that I put out before the nursery tours, obviously, was the beginning of this, where I was kind of like, I'm not just gonna like fade into the background. I'm actually gonna give them a whatever, like some sort of closure, some sort of, I'm not gonna be posting all that much kind of thing. And so that's what I did. And then I kind of came to realize, no, this really is, I'm not really interested in the plants anymore. I can go back to being kind of a normal, I mean, I don't want to say normal, but I have some plants around the house and I take care of them, and I do not have shelves and shelves and shelves of plants and plant accoutrement and all that kind of stuff. But the other thing that I've been thinking about is the fact that I actually like making YouTube videos for the most part. Part of my ADHD that I've come to find out is that I do things a lot better. I am far more motivated to get things done when I have some sort of an audience, some sort of a deadline. Like, you guys, I don't directly interact with a lot of you unless we're like talking talking in the comments, on a video, because I really don't do much social media. I just don't do much social media. It's not really a thing that I like. But for some reason, YouTube, like the video format, the, making a video, all that kind of works for me. So, one of the things that I kind of realized was, oh, well, I kind of want to keep making videos. I don't know how often at this point, because the plants really was like, gave me like a thing. But then at the same time, I was like, I don't really want to go and make another channel, because this is, Stories and Succulents. This is a plant channel. I don't want to go and make another channel because whatever it is that my channel will be, I'm going to hyper focus on it for a while, and then it's going to change. And I don't really want to, I don't want that to sound like I'm worried about the hyper focusing thing, because it's just a thing that I have to accept happens, right? I am going to hyper focus on something, and I'm going to tell you what that thing is in a minute, so that this is going somewhere. This really is actually going somewhere. and I hyper-focused on another thing for a while. I don't know. I hyper-focused on plants for like years, so I don't know how long this one's gonna go. And, but I don't want to keep remaking channels. Because, some of you are here because you like the plants. And I am at least mildly entertaining to watch, so but some of you guys actually think that I might be cool, like the plants are cool, I'm cool. What else is Laura doing? And so I did a lot of thinking about it, and I realized that the one consistency that I have in my life is that I've always been a writer. And I know that I've only vaguely mentioned that on this channel because it wasn't the point of it, but, hey, it's time to tell you guys a story, has always been. I'm a storyteller. I've been writing since I was a small child. I mean, I've been writing my whole life, let's say. As long as stories have been a concept that my child brain was able to conceptualize, I have been writing. I was never not a writer, and I've never stopped being a writer. So I know that the one consistency is that I'm always going to be writing, and I'm always going to be telling stories. And so that was kind of the thing that I decided to focus my channel around as much as possible. If I'm going to make this big change. So the plan is to take stories and succulents and just take off the succulents part. Because my life is going to be stories and whatever else it is that I'm doing. It's always going to be stories and. So, this is my announcement that I am changing the name of my channel to Stories And. I mean, I have never really focused on getting a whole bunch of subscribers. I love my subscribers. I am so grateful for you guys that really have subscribed to me and stuck around and actually watched my videos, with any regularity, when they were coming out with any regularity, obviously. And I just kind of want to keep, like I said, I want to keep doing YouTube. I want to keep making videos. And so it's kind of going to be a hybrid of the old and the new. Because like I said, I'm not done with plants in, like, completely. I'm not going to take every plant and just throw it out the door and be, like, done with plants. I have my garden outside that I'm working on, that I really want to do. I have always wanted to do woodworking. Like, it's always been just this thing in the back of my mind where I'm like, I would like to do woodworking, but there was always this, I mean, one of the things is I don't have the space. Like, that was always an excuse. One of the things was you have to buy a lot of expensive equipment to do, woodworking. You need power tools and all that kind of stuff. And so a number of things ended up happening. One of them is, as you guys know, I have a job now. And I suddenly sat down and realized that that meant that I had money. I worked exclusively for my horse's board for a number of years, and so that was I wasn't earning any money, even though me and my husband were perfectly fine financially, because, we're very lucky. We're perfectly fine financially. Now suddenly I'm bringing in money, and so suddenly I can pay off the bills that I have, and I still have some money left over that I can spend on other stuff, and so I've decided to get into woodworking more seriously. You guys saw the bits of that I think I mentioned when I made my bearded dragon's cage. I made that. I also made the stand that was on out of wood. I made a stand for my fish tank, for my my little 10-gallon fish tank. I still haven't set that up, but I have that. I also built a, I mean, it's like a cat tree, but it's more like a bench, and then like a box, and then I put carpet on top of it. But the cats, it goes under the window, and the cats love to lay on it or under it or whatever like that. And as I was kind of shifting over from plants, I don't really watch very many plant YouTube channels anymore, hardly at all. But I did start watching a lot of woodworking videos and just liking watching people build things and talk about tools and all that kind of stuff. And I found I found one channel called Woodworking for Mere Mortals. This man named Steve Ramsey does this channel. He's been doing it for like years and years and years. Like, I think I saw a video from like 2015. But he has a very engaging personality, a very good like humor, you know, he's just fun to watch. And he also had a woodworking course. And so I kind of, once I realized that I had the money to do this, I kind of jumped in. And so the hybrid thing that we're going to be doing today is that I built some garden beds, some raised garden beds, so that I can finally have some more space for gardening, something that I've been wanting to do for several years now. And now I've finally got those made and built. I'm planning on going to one of the big box stores today. I haven't actually decided which one yet. And I need to pick up a whole bunch of things. So I need to pick up dirt for my raised beds. I need to pick up plants to go in those raised beds. I need to pick up wood for my next woodworking projects. I've actually got a couple of tool things that I need to buy for the next projects that I have coming up. And while I'm there, I'm definitely going to look at plants because like I said, I'm not going to cut plants out of my life at all, you know. I'm just going to kind of keep the ones that keep me the most interested and are easy to keep. I mean, I definitely have been looking at certain plants in my collection and going, yeah, no, just no. So I thought that I would take you guys along. We'll have like a little, you know, plant shop with me, and then there'll also be, I'm picking up woodworking, and this is just going to be the first video of this. The story now is woodworking. And I have a number of other projects that I want to do. Some involve woodworking and some of them don't. And I'm just going to, if I feel like taping it, I'm going to tape it and make it a video. And it's going to go up on the channel. And you guys can look at them and be like, yes, I am interested in seeing Laura refurbish a 100-year-old chest that she picked up at an antique market, which is one of the projects that I have. Or yes, I am interested in seeing Laura glue a whole bunch of plastic sleeves to a backboard so that she can hang up the first 151 Pokemon original base set cards on her wall, which is another project that I have that I'm planning on working on. And it's just going to be whatever I'm working on. And there will be plants. There will still be plants every now and then. There might even be videos dedicated to plants. There will definitely be videos dedicated to my outdoor gardening space, because that's something that I'm still working on right now. And so I guess my invitation now is, you know, and if you want to see all the projects that I have planned and that I'm gonna be doing in the future, then, you know, stay subscribed and watch them. And if you don't want to, then, you know, no hard feelings. Go. There are still plenty of YouTubers out there. I've always tried to be as open as I possibly can with what's going on. I mean, that just is it. But anyway, I'm looking at the time of how long I've been talking, and there is not a ton to cut, so this video is already getting fairly long, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. I'm gonna make my list of all the things that I have to get, so I hopefully don't forget anything. And when I see you guys again, we are going to be at a big box store, and we're gonna go from there. So I will see you guys in just a second. Okay, so we're probably gonna get a, oh, this has, what, 2 plants in there? Interesting. Oh, those are the cherry tomatoes. I don't want those. I want beefsteak tomato. Looking pretty good. Oh, wow. Yeah, the roots are, roots are. Oh, okay, they do have some sweet red bell peppers. Let's grab a couple of these. I'm gonna need a cart. So, okay. Okay, so I got 2 tomato plants. I got a red beef steak, and I got a Mr. Stripey, and then I got 2 red pepper plants because my husband and I really do red peppers a lot. And then I had to get some potting soil, so that is going to be my plant buying collection. We've got Calathea orbifolia is there. Yeah. Cute little guys. Some lovely, I really love this color of orchid. It's just so pretty. Not really. Orchids are not high on my list of things that I want though. Oh, there's some gorgeous begonias over there. Up in some monsters, we will always check for variegation. Wouldn't mind having a variegated monster, but you know, not expecting anything. This is just the green, regular green philodendrons. Those are what the buildings come out of. I just have not been very good at begonias, just in general. I don't want to say I've given up, but I've kind of given up on them. Does anybody else ever go to the wood section of the Home Depot and just stare at the wood and I just love wood. So we need 6 1x3s and 2 1x2s. So we're gonna see if there's anything decent in here on our 1x3s. Hopefully those ones over there are gonna be nice because some of these are looking, I mean, yuck. Like, for heaven's sake. Okay. Alright, I finally got the wood that I need. 2x1. And 2 1x3s. It took me a really long time. I actually had to go get something to open some more because these were just all such crap. But we've got them now, so alright, perfect. Short break with my bearded dragon. Hi, beautiful. I know, she always puffs up when I come for her, and then she's like, whatever. Are you being a jerk today? Really? Bearded dragon. Doo, doo, doo. I know, you're a good girl. Alright, in you go. That's a good girl. Aren't you so beautiful? Yes, you are. I know, getting so big. She has gotten a lot bigger since probably the last time you guys saw her. I did want to update you guys that stand that I showed you earlier, I actually like painted and polyurethaned it just so that it would match my other thing, with my actual fish tank stand, and then that's my little baby fish tank stand for quarantine and stuff like that. Okay, and then this is going to be a little update of my outdoor space. I planted the things that I got yesterday, so I put the little Mr. Stripey in there. These what are they called? Marigolds. I had marigolds in here last year, and they self-seeded, so I'm just kind of like leaving them because marigolds are pretty. So that was the Mr. Stripey. That was the red beefsteak. I've got my lilies are coming up. These are stargazer colored ones. These should be actually salmon colored. They didn't grow last year, but I'm excited about seeing them. I planted all of my, these are my dahlias. And so I planted them out here where I had my cucumbers last year because I already had the stakes. My dahlias all fell over last year, and so I really wanted to, like put them somewhere where I can like tie them up and then they won't fall over, but they're still kind of small now, but you know, they're coming out. These are my, I planted some milkweed seeds last year, and then I didn't plant any this year, but these just came up. Same thing with the marigolds. Those self-seeded themselves, so these guys are just kind of killing here. This is my bog garden. My bog garden has been doing interestingly, because as you can see, these guys came up and they're gorgeous, they're huge, they're starting to, you know, color, and all this kind of stuff, but all of the, I had 3 plants back here, and 2 of them just, like, they were coming up. They had new growth on them, in March or April. And then I came out, like they were getting ready to grow, and then I came out one day and they were just dead. I mean, and I pulled one of them out of there, but like this one you can see, it's just, it was growing, it was fine, and then the whole plant just died. And I don't know what happened, and I'm really sad because this was like a huge plant. It was like in really good shape, and now it's just gone. So that really is just disappointing. I have my blueberry bush here. I have a couple of my indoor plants that I put outside. They're still dealing with, and suddenly there's a whole bunch of sun, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. And then these are my raised garden beds that I made. So I built these myself. The corrugated metal was a pain in the ass. Like if you cut it short ways, it's not too bad because you can kind of bend it back, but trying to cut it long ways was like a nightmare. I eventually had to do it with my circular saw, and I broke the blade on my circular saw. And it was just bleh. So anyway, they are built now. I have them, they're beautiful. I didn't get quite enough dirt to fill up both of them, but I went ahead and put the peppers in here. It rained last night also, so it kind of, wet everything down real nice. And I actually had one last dahlia that I stuck in here. I just want to see how it does. I just didn't really have the space over there, as you can see, because I just don't have enough posts. But anyway, here, that is kind of an update on how things are looking out here. So I just wanted to, like I said, I wanted to update you guys on stuff. I showed you what I got from the Home Depot. If you're interested in the project that I'm going to be making with the wood that I also got while I was there, that's going to be like another video. And then I'm kind of going to go over the woodworking stuff that I have, some of my plans there, and all that kind of thing. So that'll be another video. But again, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope, whatever your decision is about whether or not you're still interested in my channel, because it's going to be changing and all that kind of stuff, I mean, I wish you the best in your life, no matter what you choose. And I'm just going to kind of keep doing what I'm doing, and that's what's going to make me happy. So thank you so much for watching this. If you like this video, go ahead and like this video. If you're new to this channel and you're like, what the heck is going on? This is like the first video I've ever watched. Go ahead and subscribe and stick around. And I'm gonna be doing some a whole bunch of different things, and maybe some of it is stuff that you will like. Either way, thank you so much for spending some of your very valuable time with me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye-bye.